Chapter 3: Journey into Emotional Intelligence. Unleash at the right time and place before you explode at the wrong time and place. Ole Anderson. The first step: exploring your emotions. Throughout the day, take note of your emotional reactions to occurrences. It is quite easy to blame your emotional feelings on your daily events. Always keep in mind that acknowledging how you feel about your experiences is crucial to enhancing your emotional intelligence. Neglecting your feelings means ignoring critical information that has a huge influence on your thinking and how you carry yourself. You must choose to pay attention to your emotional feelings to effortlessly tie them to your experiences. For example, if you are at a meeting at work and a colleague abruptly cut you off while you were still delivering your argument, what kinds of emotions are you likely to feel? What would you feel if you were being commended for the wonderful work you had done? When you develop the habit of identifying your emotions as they occur, you increase your awareness of your environment and every experience you have, as well as the feelings those experiences elicit. In this manner, you gradually improve your emotional intelligence. The key to developing the habit of tuning into your emotions throughout the day is to make it a practice to think about how you're feeling as soon as you get up and before you go to bed. Pay close attention to your body. Rather than ignore the physical manifestations of your emotional sensations, you should begin to pay attention to them. Recognize that your mind and body are inextricably linked, and neither can thrive without the other. In other words, the body and mind have a strong influence on each other. To improve your emotional intelligence, you must learn to understand body signals and utilize them as clues to determine what emotions you are experiencing. When you are stressed, you may feel a knot in your stomach, a constriction in your chest, or rapid breathing. When you are upset, it may feel like you are rising slowly and with heavy limbs. When you are joyful or frightened, you may feel butterflies in your stomach or a rapid heartbeat. Examine the relationship between your emotions and your conduct. Consider the last time you had a powerful emotion and how you handled it. When we have powerful emotional feelings, we often try to disguise them so that we don't have to deal with them or let others notice that we are going through something. Emotional intelligence is about tuning into your gut feeling in every event you encounter each day, rather than reacting without taking the time to evaluate. Recognize that the more you learn about what triggers your impulses, the more you grow your emotional intelligence, putting you in a better position to apply what you've learned to modify your behavior in the future. Here are a few instances of behaviors and their underlying causes. When you are ashamed or uneasy, you are more likely to retreat from people and avoid engaging in discussion. When you are furious, you may notice your voice rising or stomping away angrily. When you feel overwhelmed, you may panic and lose sight of what is most important in your life. Avoid passing judgment on your feelings. Do you realize that every emotional experience you have, even if it is bad, is valid? Always keep in mind that judging your emotions, especially if they are bad, will only limit your capacity to feel them fully and, as a result, your ability to use them productively. Consider this: every emotion you experience contains bits and pieces of information related to things going on around you. You will be in the dark about how to respond if you do not have this knowledge. This explains why your ability to sense your emotions is considered a sort of intellect. Yes, this is not something you will learn overnight, but by practicing letting go of bad feelings, you will be able to properly relate them to what is going on around you. For example, if you feel extremely envious, the first question you should ask yourself is what that emotion is telling you about the scenario as a whole. It is also critical that you completely feel all happy emotions. Try to link your feelings of contentment or enjoyment to what is going on in your life, so that you might learn to feel them more frequently. Take note of any trends in your emotional history. It's one thing to learn how to recognize your sentiments. It's quite another to relate them to your experiences. When you have a strong emotion, it is crucial to attempt to remember the last time you felt that way. Examine what happened before, during, and after the incident. This will assist you in seeing a trend and gaining better control over your conduct. Take note of how you handled the previous matter and the consequence. This way, you can make a wiser decision next time you approach a similar circumstance to get the desired result. It is also vital to keep a record of your emotional reactions and how you feel with each passing day so that you can see if there is a pattern in how you react to circumstances. How to act around people. One thing to remember is that you have no control over your emotions. You may, however, choose to stay connected to all that is going on around you. You are most likely in the dark about how to effectively react if you do not have this collection of knowledge. Again, this is why the capacity to experience your emotions is considered a sort of intellect. When something bad happens in your life, you must allow yourself to feel your feelings. Allow that flood of grief and rage to sweep over you. Once that wave is passed, you must decide on the best course of action to take. Instead of suppressing your emotions, you should express them or at least keep trying. Don't attempt to run away from your feelings. Yes, allowing your unpleasant emotions to manifest may not be the ideal thing to do, and you may be tempted to suppress them by getting drunk, burying your head in movies, or engaging in behaviors that numb your suffering. The reality is that if you do this, your EQ will begin to fall. Make contact with others and be pleasant and open-minded. Being open-minded and pleasant go hand in hand when it comes to emotional intelligence. When you claim you have a limited mind, you are essentially suggesting you have a poor EQ. However, allowing your mind to be open allows you not only to acquire insight and reflect on what is going on inwardly, but it also makes it simpler to manage problems confidently and calmly. You will just become more socially aware of what others are going through, and opportunities will begin to open up for you. Listening to arguments on the radio or television is one of the finest methods to improve your EQ. Consider all sides of the debate and determine which nuances demand your serious attention. Don't get furious at someone who doesn't react the same way you would. Instead, think about why they behaved the way they did and attempt to understand things from their point of view. Improve your empathy abilities. Empathy is the ability to perceive what others are experiencing and to share in their feelings. When you are an active listener, you can pay attention to what people are saying and have a deeper understanding of what they are feeling. In other words, you are using the scenario to make educated decisions that will help you better your relationships, which is a sign of emotional intelligence. If you want to improve your empathy, you must be ready to put yourself in the shoes of others. Consider how you would behave if you were in the same scenario. When you consciously picture what it must be like to be in others' shoes, you will not only sympathize with their plight, but you will also find ways to assist them via support and compassion. When you observe someone displaying intense emotions, the first thing you should consider is how you would behave in a similar circumstance. You will behave more compassionately if you are genuinely interested in what the other person is saying or feeling. Rather than letting your mind wander, ask yourself questions and summarize what they are saying so that they know you are engaged in a dialogue with them.